Let's do a full face of makeup based on the cover of the book that I just read. And it was quite literally like the worst book that I've ever read, or at least have definitely read this year. Truly, it was atrocious. Even though the book was literally so bad, really inspired by how pretty the cover and the pages were, I was like, you know what I could do? I could do a makeup look based off of that. So I love books just as much as I love makeup, and I think it could be really fun. One of the reasons this book was so terrible was because, like, I don't know what the authors were doing. I think they were trying to, like, make the town kind of quirky, like, you know, like a Gilmore Girls kind of style of town, but it was just, like, done really poorly. And all of the characters were completely obnoxious. The main male character and the female main character in this book were both so insufferable. Like, I cannot stand a miscommunication trope, and this book was like entirely about miscommunication. The authors, for whatever reason, felt compelled to explain something like 150 times. It legitimately felt like, you know, that meme from Emperor's New Groove where Kronk is like, the poison for Cusco, the poison or whatever. Like, this book felt like that on every single page. Like, the authors had just explained it like one time, I think the book would have been like 200 pages shorter. Also, don't think that the authors could like pick one storyline or plot line, so they just decided to like throw all of them in there. I do not get it. I don't want to like spoil anything for anybody who might want to read it anyway. It is the second in a series, which I didn't know when I picked it up. If anybody out there liked it, reading is subjective. So something I might not like, you might really like, and that is completely okay. It's a lot like makeup. Makeup is also subjective. But for me, like I don't think the authors could pick one single thing to write a book about. So they just kind of were like, let's do it all. There was so much death and it was a romance, but I don't understand. It's like simile after simile after metaphor after metaphor. What else can these authors like compare this situation to? I should have had an example for you guys of how truly terrible it was. Let me be abundantly clear that I like a sad book, okay? It's not about that there was so much death and everything else that made it a bad book. Dear John is my favorite Nicholas Sparks book of all time because they don't end up together. Like, I don't want to give any spoilers in case anybody wants to read it, but just know, like, there was a ridiculous amount of death. The edges are sprayed, which is like what drew me into this book, and I think it could be kind of fun to try to add the flowers. I did kind of ruin it, but we're just gonna go with it. I know there's probably a part of you that's just like, Jen, if you hated it so much, why did you keep reading it? Why did you just stop reading it? I have a really hard time DNFing books. I have diagnosed OCD, and so it's really hard for me because like I'm just like, well, what if it gets better? What if it gets better? And so basically I'm just a masochist and I like to make myself suffer. I never really gave you guys like a synopsis or a plot. Fair, in my defense, it's a really hard plot to find. But essentially about this guy and this girl who are like madly in love and meant to be and have this like whirlwind romance, and then like they get married and then a whole bunch of like sad, depressing, crazy shit happens. So then the girl like freaks out and break up. And it's a dual storyline book, like a past and present book. Like essentially the whole storyline follows them, like their first love story and then like their second love story, and essentially like how they find their way back to each other. And to be painfully clear, I love a yearning, burning man and woman, truthfully. I mean, hello, Team Conrad, right? But like, this was so, like, they weren't yearning. She couldn't communicate and he was like obsessed, and he kept communicating that he really just like lying to him about stuff to like protect him. And I love a main male character who is like obsessed with his woman. But like, this guy bordered on creepy. At what point is she gonna say like leave me alone and you're like actually gonna like leave her alone, you know? 1 out of 5 stars. I do not recommend. If you're interested in books that I actually did really enjoy and do recommend this year, let me know in the comments below.